Hello everybody and welcome to In the Driver's Seat with dubizzle. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the new Nissan Altima. We're also going to be talking about EV cars because they're very interesting and people know not so many information about them. And as you can see, I got rid of Chris. So
No, you didn't. Don't lie. It's very difficult
You're
to
here.
remove
Sorry,
someone
I
of
didn't- I
my
didn't see
size
you.
from
I didn't-
everything. I take up all three cameras.
yeah, I do.
There are more things that we're going to discuss because of now, and I wish this was a thing back in the day when we learned to drive, one-day licenses. You can get your driving license in a single day.
Yeah. It took a pretty long time when I did my license actually 9 years
I think
ago.
mine took like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine was something around that time, like 3 or 4 months.
But the thing is, what Emirates have done it, because there's only a handful of Emirates that have done it so far. So we'll tell you about that in a little bit. But let's start with the new Altima. It's the 2023 model.
Yeah.
You'll be very hard pressed to figure out what exactly is new to the car.
Especially if you're looking at the car from the back.
Exactly.
Because it hasn't changed much in the back.
That is true. And if you look at the front, it's very difficult as well. I only found out after.
From the grille.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The grille is new. It has this new design. It looks very nice. But the changes outside are very, very minute. It's inside
where the big
magic
changes
happens.
happen, yeah.
Exactly.
And the engine is still the same as well. What I was a little bit disappointed with is that they kept the CVT. Because, you know, it's a very economical transmission, but I still prefer the automatic or the manual.
Well, that's the thing, right? The CVT is there for economy reasons, right?
Correct.
Because it kind of, for those of you who don't know what a CVT is, this took me a while to figure out what it is as well. It kind of preloads the next gear for you, so the gear shifts are smoother, so you don't
so
really
they call
feel
it continuous variable transmission.
There you go. There's the full version of the acronym there.
Exactly.
And of course, it's more fuel efficient, which means that you save more money when going to the petrol station because
Correct.
you're not going to be fueling up as much. It does take a little bit of the fun out of driving, but they do give you a sports mode that really revs when you change it.
Revs all the way up, yeah. And you don't feel when it's shifting or when it's shifted or what happened, you know, like between the gears.
Smooth.
Yeah, it's insanely smooth.
But see, what I really enjoyed about the car is the seats. Now, I've got to say, that has to be some of the most comfortable seats ever fitted into any Nissan model.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like,
Zero
I think
gravity,
they
call
call
them,
it
right?
zero gravity. It's kind of like you're just floating inside of your car.
Correct.
I mean, I love the word zero gravity, right? If you try and explain to anybody, oh, I've got zero gravity seats, they think they're going to sit on them and just float away instantaneously. It's just like,
Correct.
No, just keep you in there. And it's like your armchair at home, or that one chair that your parents hate, or your wife or your spouse just hate so much, they want you to throw it out, but you're like, no, it's so comfortable.
It is.
That's what those seats are. I'm not saying they're old seats, don't get me wrong here. They're just really, really comfortable.
Yeah, they are. Especially in the SL model, the one we had, which is the full option of the car. It's insanely beautiful in the inside. And I like the screen as well, the big touch screen that was there. I think it was missing a knob because I'm used to controlling the screen not from touch, but maybe why use a knob as well as you have a touch screen? So
it also had
depends.
things. It also had things like wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which of a lot of models nowadays don't come with that kind of stuff. You still need that cable.
And I hate that, to be honest, because we're in a time where everyone is using everything Bluetooth, you know, and wireless. So why go back to cables?
Yeah. So it's so nice that you just slot your phone into the wireless phone charger and then it automatically connects. You don't have to fiddle with any cables. It's not messy. I've got like 4 different cables in my car. And it's annoying because everything gets stuck together.
True.
But they've thought ahead of it and gone, right, we're going to put wireless Android Auto and CarPlay in.
Apple CarPlay, yeah.
Now, our next topic here is about driving licenses. Yeah. And we obviously have them. All the producers here as well and the camera crew all have driving licenses. Yes. But for those of you who might be getting your driving license now, if you're over the age of 18, yes, most of them are 18. I think 17 you can get provisional one here. I think
provisional,
yeah.
You have to have someone else all the time with you.
But now you can get a driving license in just 1 day. I think we covered this in a previous episode, but that's because they announced it in Dubai.
In Dubai only, yeah.
But now there are more Emirates that have introduced it.
I think in Sharjah we were talking that they're available till the end of September, if I'm not mistaken. But you need to be local, if I'm not mistaken, in Sharjah.
I think
or a high school graduate that's crossed 18 years old, yeah.
You're correct about the high school graduate, and then you have to be a recruit in the national service.
Okay.
And then you can apply for it then.
Okay, fair enough.
But it didn't say if there was an age for that, so I don't know if maybe you could be a bit older and do it in Sharjah, and that is limited, as you said, to September.
Fair enough, to September.
The rack one is a bit different as well. With the rack, you can actually do it in 1 day. You do test, and then you do the Wait, you do the test and you do
Computer
the test.
test and the
You do 2 tests in a day.
parking test and the driving test as well.
Yes, but
3
that one
tests.
is exclusive to national service recruits.
And it's still the end of the year.
Yes. So there are 3 Emirates now that offer this service to get your driving license done in a single day. We were talking about this before.
I do wish that it was there like that when we did it. You know?
I know, I can't believe it took me 3 months and I had to commute from Dubai all the way to Quwain to do it.
Quwain, why?
Yeah, because I had a visa down there at the time. Believe me, it was so much easier to do a driving license down there.
Okay,
It was-
I'd actually
and
believe
cheaper.
that. Cheaper, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
way cheaper.
No, it took me around, I think, 2-3 months as well, but I did it in Dubai, yeah.
Okay, so you probably paid,
A hefty amount.
yeah, I paid like 2,000-3,000 dirhams. That was it.
Something like, no, I think I didn't take lessons because I had my driving license, original driving license for a while, so I just did like 1 lesson and then
Oh, you got
started
it
that.
converted? See,
Yeah.
I never had a license.
Not
before.
converted, I had to do the tests again, but I just went directly for the
okay.
tests.
You had to do the kind of, where they test you to see if you can actually drive.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I never did that.
I failed, and I'm just kidding.
When I went, everyone assumed that I had a license in the UK. I've lived here for so long, I don't have a license in the UK.
You know?
Plus, they drive on the wrong side of the road, so why would I want a license there?
That's actually, you're the first person from the UK that you tell me they drive on the wrong side of the road.
They do. Whoever says they drive on the correct side is incorrect.
Yeah.
They drive on the wrong side of the road. It is unnatural.
I went to Australia, I think, in a couple of years, and to my cousins, and he's like, have a drive. I was fine until I reached the roundabout, and it's like, where do you take this from? Because you cannot just go right? So you have to go all the way right and take the left. It is so confusing. Like, I never understood it.
I don't know how you can change gears with your left hand as well.
As well, that's very hard.
Like
as well,
the
if you're
pedals are
driving
in the
a
right
manual.
place, but the steering wheel is wrong, the gear stick is wrong, the
The
dashboard is wrong.
Everything else is wrong.
Yeah, I remember when I went back once and my friend's wife got in the passenger seat, but it was the driver's seat. And I asked her, why you get in the passenger seat if you're going to drive us? It doesn't make any sense.
But this is a mistake every time. Every time I go there and I go to the right and he's like, this is my seat.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Also, interesting enough, Abu Dhabi's now launched a very interesting initiative. Now, I was reading up about this last week.
Okay.
And now, when you do your driving lessons in Abu Dhabi, they're going to tell you about your carbon footprint and how many emissions that you've created when doing a driving license.
And then you can go and buy petrol after.
Exactly. So it's very interesting because obviously you're going to learn to drive in a Nissan Sunny or
Buy
a Nissan
twin turbo
Sunny.
V8.
And then afterwards, you go out and buy a, gas guzzler.
No, look, I think this is because of what's happening in the world. This has been the hottest year ever. I think a day in the past month they recorded was the hottest day ever been in the world, and this according to global warming and what's happening in the world. And I think it's good that they're taking this initiative because we all need to be aware of the environment and what's happening, guys. So carbon footprint, we may just look at it, and it's good that they're educating people about it, because so they know what's happening. They know what they're leaving behind. What is this affecting the environment and how much is it affecting it?
When you look at
This is from a car fanatic, by the way. This is from a motorhead, from someone who loves petrol and cars and V8s and all. But we need to think about the environment.
No, I 100% agree with you. There's nothing like driving a V8. At 5.7 or whatever displacement it is, it's just there is such a different feeling to it. But I understand as well from a carbon footprint point of view, they're not as economical as we think they are. And they're really affecting the environment. Don't get us wrong, we're not environmentalists here. We're not going to stick our hands to Ferraris or sit in the middle of a Sheikh Zayed road because that would be excruciating. Yeah. I can't imagine putting my hand down on the road, 50 degrees centigrade, and gluing it down. There's no point. My skin will fuse to the road, so there's no point in doing that.
Correct.
But when you are buying a car, always make sure you're looking at the carbon footprint.
Yeah.
And what GSO do nowadays, which is the governing body here for all cars that are sold on the GCC, they have a nice window sticker. You've probably seen these because people like to stick them on their car and keep them there for extended periods of time just to tell people that I've got a new car and it's newer than yours. I've seen people retroactively fit these things when they didn't even exist. And it is the most bizarre thing ever. Like, why?
Why would you keep a sticker on your window?
Exactly. We don't care.
The first thing I do is remove that sticker. But yeah, that's actually...
I don't know why
you know what?
you do
I
it.
think there is some parkings in Dubai. I've seen it before. They say low emissions parking.
Yes.
Not only EV parking, low emissions parking. And how would you know? Like, I was like, I have a 2.0 4-cylinder. Is that a low emission? I don't know.
No, because you go there and there's just patrols parked in there.
Yes, there is.
Those are clearly LEVs.
True. Speaking of EVs, we're going to talk about electric vehicles.
Electric vehicles are very interesting. They don't have an engine. So that means no engine oil, no fuel, but you still need to replace certain fluids in the cars. Now, a lot of people don't get that part of it, right? They just think, I've got an electric car, I don't need to replace anything.
I don't need to replace anything,
But you have brakes. You also have a transmission as well.
Yes.
And these need to be changed. The fluids need to be replaced. I'm not talking like, it's not like an oil change where you do every 5, 10, 15,
5,
or
10,
3.
15K. That's a little bit longer you can stay for before you change these fluids, yeah.
And we were even talking about the coolant for the batteries as well. Now, companies like Tesla suggest that you do not do it yourself. Obviously, it is a liability, but it is something you need to consider, and it's something that you need to change eventually.
I think they're changing it in Tesla every 50K or 100K, something like that. And they do it in Tesla when you take your car for service or whatever, the brake service and stuff like that. But they say don't change it because it's I think the tricky fluid that you're going to put. It's not the normal fluid because it's going to cool the battery. And
Exactly.
I'm not sure how to do it, to be honest. I've never did it before.
I don't think it's something. I don't think it's common knowledge because here we don't really do services on our own cars, do we?
No.
I don't know about you. I don't know how to change a tire on a car. I've never learned, and I've never had the reason to do it. We only did it part of the DIY series, and that's how I learned how to change a tire.
That's the first time you change a tire.
33 years. No. Sorry, I've been driving for less than 10 years, and I've only just learned how to change a tire.
Okay.
It's something we don't need here, is it?
I thought you were a car fanatic. I thought you loved cars.
Oh, but doesn't mean I'm a I like changing tires.
Like, you know what? Back home, used to see someone on the side of the road struggling with changing a tire, and I would go help them just to learn stuff about it. You know, like go into the engine and I had no idea what's happening there.
I'm 100% sure if you saw me on the side of the road, my tire burnt out, you would not stop and help me. Well, you would probably stop, wind down the window, go, "Ha ha, you didn't learn," and then you just drive off.
That'd be fun. That would be fun.
But it's, again, going back to it, it's not really something that we do here. We don't change our own oil. No one changes their own transmission stuff here unless you're a proper mechanic or you have the space necessary to do it. I can't imagine doing any of this in my basement.
Oh, I saw a video the other day that made me laugh so much. So there was this guy put it on Instagram, and he's taking a picture of two girls with a Land Rover Defender, the new one, beautiful car, and they're trying to change the oil on the car, and they had a bucket of vegetable oil, right? Had a bucket of vegetable oil sitting, and they were taking the oil measure, and figuring out where they're gonna add the oil from that. The guy made good fun of them for about 5 minutes, and then he stepped out and helped them, and he's like, "Do you need help?" They're like, "No, we're just figuring where to add the oil." And then he's like, "Please don't add vegetable oil."
Amazing. It's probably going to smell really good.
Defender.
It's going to smell good for a little bit, and then it's just going to pack up and be...
And the engine's going to just seize, definitely.
You know, that reminds me, we need to buy some diesel cars. And we need to see how we can fuel a diesel car.
Okay, fair enough.
Because you can power it on cooking oil. You can also power it on milk.
What?
Yes, exactly.
Milk?
I think we should do this at some point. We should see what we can power a diesel car by.
Okay, I thought the weirdest thing with old cars, because they used to burn oil, you know that, right?
Yes.
So in old cars, you need to put oil and gas in the car, and after every few months, years, I'm not sure, but not years, definitely month, and you need to change to add oil to the car because it burns oil as well as fuel. I thought that was weird.
This is super old. Like you're talking about, I remember this from the Trabants.
This is 70s, 80s. Like I don't know if 80s, but 70s definitely, right?
So we forgot to do our Spotted on dubizzle.
Yeah, we did.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do this in real time.
Okay.
I think what we should do is I think someone get a timer, and let's put how much? How many seconds should we put to find the best car?
What's the limit? How
many thousand dirhams? For you, it's less than 100,000.
Why for me?
Because you're just going to get a 918 again, like every other episode, or a Chiron, or something ridiculously expensive.
Okay, actually, not 300,000, but I do have a very interesting car. Not 100,000. It's not ridiculously expensive.
That you already found.
Yeah, it's even with us in dubizzle cars, and it's backed by us as well.
What is it?
It is. Just give me a second to find it over here. It is a BMW, of course, right? And it's a 760 Li 2018.
Oh, is this the green one?
It is the green one.
Okay.
The car is an amazing color. It comes in captain seats, which means that the rear seats are only two. You have a champagne bottle holder and a fridge in the car. The car is just amazing. And the most amazing of them all is that the car is a V12, guys. It's a V12, 610 horsepower, 3.1 seconds from 0 to 100. This is a very impressive car. I'll show it to you in a minute.
So I remember that I found something very interesting, and again, it's a car that we have listed for sale at dubizzle Cars, but it's a managed car. Now, this is a 2015 Lexus IS 250.
Okay.
It has a very interesting paint job. It looks like it's in the clouds. It's listed as purple, blue, and grey, so it's 3 colors.
Purple, blue, and grey.
And it literally looks like a cloud, or I guess you could say waves, as you can see on the screen right now. This is a very interesting finish to a car. I don't think I've seen this. And the attention to detail, I'll be honest here, is very good. It's a very unique looking car.
It is.
And I know it's a bit of a weird one for me to choose a Lexus. Because I'm not big on
I wouldn't think so, yeah.
But I mean, LS430 all the way, right? F16s.
Actually, my favorite Lexus is the LFA, definitely. The most
I think
amazing sounding car in the world.
That's like everyone's go-to Lexus, the LFA.
Yeah, but the sound that car made, I don't
That's
think
true.
there's a Ferrari or a Lamborghini for that matter that made this beautiful sound, right?
Definitely not. It is, but then again, it was kind of that weird thing like, oh, what hypercar or supercar driver? Oh, I've got a Lexus. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. But you know what car I actually like this? I liked as well? The RCF.
That was a good
It's
one
a
too.
very good looking car.
Yes,
and
it
it's
is.
very rare to find on the road as well. You know, it's a V8, no turbos, no, just a V8. But it's a beautiful car.
It's Lexus. They don't put turbos on their cars. They
Yeah,
only
they
put the
don't.
on the
I
2
I like
litres.
that actually. I actually like that.
So with our 2 cars found on dubizzle in quick time like that,
Yes, indeed.
it's time now to move on to
the
Cup of Destiny.
Oh, la, la.
And there are 5 options to choose from.
Let's see
One
how
is already
obscure. Let's
escaped.
see how
I've
obscure
caught
these
it.
cars will be this time.
So apparently, the producers gone easy on us this week.
Hopefully.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if
So
that
no
means
Zambonis, huh?
there's no Zambonis at all. And I'll let you go first.
Oh la la.
There you go.
Every time I don't shake it, this time I'm gonna
All right,
drum roll.
cool. I'm very interested to see what they've put in here for us. It's going to be like a mini moat from 2011 where they went all electric.
Oh, McLaren F1. This is a beautiful car. This is the most interesting fact about this car is that it had 3 seats and only 2 doors. So there was no rear seats. And the driver sits in the middle of the car. They made limited number of these cars and it was a legend. It still is a legend. I think the cars that are available right now are selling for crazy amounts, millions of dollars. I think Jay Leno has one in his garage.
Wouldn't be surprised.
But it's amazing how they made the car. You can sit in the middle as the driver, and there's 2 seats beside you. They're very tight, by the way. You're not going to be very comfortable. But that's not made for comfortability because just sitting in that car, in that legend, is amazing. I love it.
Do you know what's in the engine bay, though? Do you know what the engine covering is lined with?
It is definitely a Mercedes. It's a
No, not the engine unit. It's a BMW power plant.
BMW?
Yeah.
All right.
But do you know what's on the engine covering underneath?
What is?
Gold.
Is it?
It has a gold lining for heat resistance.
Okay, I did not know that information. That's good.
So you learn something new every day.
Yes, you do.
Okay, let's see. Should I ask you how many there were in production? And if there are any here in the UAE? I think there's 2. I haven't seen one. come off the
McLaren?
sale.
I've never seen it here. I've seen the Senna here, but
Ooh.
I haven't seen
A
the...
Tesla Roadster Generation 1.
Oh
The
la
first
la.
Tesla Roadster. See, their first car, I think it was 2013 they
13,
came
if
out.
I'm not mistaken, yeah.
And if you squinted really hard, you'd figure out that it is a Tesla. But when you looked at it from far away, it was a Lotus.
It was actually made on the chassis of the Lotus.
Which one was it? Was the Elise?
I think it's the Elise, yeah.
Is it? Yes.
I think
So-
it's the Elise, yeah.
And they're coming back with it. I don't know when. Apparently, it's supposed to come out in 2023. Well, that's this year. So
You
knowing
can go
Tesla,
on their website and order one, but they actually tell you just... They don't give you a delivery date.
They don't, because they're
But
too
yeah.
busy sending it into space. That's why.
Oh, my turn.
The suspense is killing me.
Here it is.
Okay. What are we going to do with the final one, I wonder? Maybe we should ask the producers to give us 6 in future. So we have
Do
3
2 each?
No,
I think
'cause
the final one is for both of us.
Okay.
1995 Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing.
1995?
I know the SL,
Hang on a sec.
the 2 doors.
1995?
Yeah, I know why. That means something. It's
Which
very
one
specific.
which one of our producers needs to be shot? 1995.
1995, yeah. I know
I
the
think
SL. I know the 300
1965.
SL, but I don't know the Gullwing. To be honest, I don't know the difference between them.
It's the
I know
same
that-
car.
So why do they call
It's
it
the
Gullwing?
the 19 because it had the doors that came up, right?
Oh, correct.
It's the 1965 version.
1960. This is 95 though.
No, our producers need to be removed. They need to be replaced.
All right, we'll move on. Your turn.
But that's one of the most iconic classic cars ever built.
Yeah,
it's also
yeah,
one of the most
65,
expensive
exactly.
as well.
So it's very expensive.
It's a beautiful car.
It
There are a number of them here for sale. There was a white one that popped up. And we move on to another classic here, the Aston Martin DB5. Now, this is very popular because of James Bond. All Aston Martins are popular because of James Bond.
because of James Bond.
I don't think this is one of the rarer ones, but it is a very sought-after piece of automotive history. Wonderful car. I think last year, during one of the races they did for F1, I think Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel drifted
Yeah,
one of
they
these
drifted one of these.
around Silverstone, which is everyone's dream to do that. But
Yeah, definitely.
I
I
don't
wouldn't mind the drifting.
I don't know if I would choose that car to drift around in. You know, I'll let you choose the last one.
I'm choosing the last.
Yes.
One. All right.
Here we go.
Being very nice today.
So far, we're 2 for 2 here.
2 for 2.
Let's see what this last one is.
Oh, Dodge Challenger SRT jailbreak.
Okay.
Okay, so we all know the SRT. I don't know the difference in the jailbreak.
This is if I'm not mistaken, this is kind of like the swan song to the Challenger, because now we're going to go into a fully electric generation of them.
Okay.
There will be no more ICEs. And
Yeah,
I think
I know.
they announced something ridiculous.
They already made the first one, right? The Challenger.
Yes,
not SRT.
that sounds like a blender that's been warped. It's been thrown in a black hole. Electric cars shouldn't have noises. Don't put one in. Don't even fake it. It sounds ridiculous. Anyway, so they released a bunch of last kind of editions, kind of like the grand finale.
Okay.
And one of them is the jailbreak. I don't know. If
I know the Demon. I know the Challenger Demon.
That's
I love that one.
Yes, and I don't know if this is inspired by their past and their Charger and Challengers, how easy it is to move those cars. But jailbreak is a very interesting word to use for this. Obviously, it has some ridiculous amount of horsepower, not as much as say the Demon.
The Demon.
Has.
You know what's the most interesting fact about the Demon, by the way?
That it has a Demon on it.
No. So let's say you purchase the car brand new, and you can pay $1 extra to get a drag kit. It's literally $1. So they just make it exactly. So they give you like a big box which has 2 small tires in the front, and you can change actually the ECU. You change the ECU, the air filter, and everything. It's like a 2 hours job. You can do it on your own. They give you a big box, but it's for $1. And they made it like that for you, just for everyone to buy it, unless you don't want to drag this car ever, and you're like, I'm not gonna take that for $1, so you can keep it.
That sounds like far too much manual labor for me, so I won't be buying one.
No, that's the only
Even if
reason,
it's $1.
It's 808 horsepower though, which is
but do you
very
really want to pay an extra
only
$1?
808 horsepower, only with the drag kit and tuned to that exact. You have an ECU, right? You can tune the car then and there.
But it takes you 2 hours to do it.
It does take you 2 hours.
got
But
better
if you're
things to
going
do.
to the drag pit, you know, you want to drag a car properly and you want to use it on the road as well, so you might as well do
I've got better things to do, like look at 1995 SL Gullwings.
Please don't tell me Volvo.
Yes, I want to look at the one
Take
they
the
have for sale.
Volvo to the dragster.
That's what I want. You know what? I should do that. There's an S70 listed for sale, a 94 model. I should go buy it.
How much is it listed for?
It's like 7,000 dirhams or something, 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah, it's dirt cheap.
What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know. I need to find a space to park it first, and someone to fix as well, because the glove box is completely missing. I don't know how you lose a gearbox, glove box, but maybe they put it in the back somewhere.
Well, you know, if you're angry a little bit and you pull it out, and
That's true. But who would get
Can't
angry
put
at a
it
glove box?
who would get angry in a Volvo? There is multiple reasons.
Okay. Touché, as they say.
To say. I think you won this game.
As always, I'm on a streak. I'm on a roll.
You figured out what the jailbreak is, even though till now I didn't.
Oh, really? You know what?
Did you know actually? Did you know the difference between a jailbreak?
I don't know the difference. I just know that it's one of their last models. Like, there's the Ghost. There's the
Shall we give it to
Jailbreak,
him?
There's
or
another
call it
one.
a tie, this one.
It's up to you.
Huh?
It's your show now, apparently. You make the deciding factor.
Khalas, we'll call it a tie.
Okay, I
Call it a
appreciate
tie.
that. Thank you so much for watching this episode. You know what? No, it's your. You do it.
You do that.
You can
I did
end
the
show.
beginning. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah, come on.
Is this how it's?
It's
gonna
a
work? Is this
tie,
how
no?
gonna
It's a
work?
tie.
Okay.
So you do that.
Fine. Thank you so much for watching this episode of In the Driver's Seat with dubizzle. Of course, if you want to learn any more about the topics that we've discussed, you can check out the dubizzle Cars blog and learn all about how you can get a driving license in just one day. And if you want to check out used cars for sale, you can check out dubizzle.com. You can find over 35,000 cars listed right now for sale, from Volvos to Toyotas, from station wagons to SUVs. Anything that you could dream of, it's for sale right now on Dubizzle Cars.